perfect weather for what we're going to be talking about today. Because in today's video, we're going to be doing my top 10 tips for camping in the wet. Now, I don't know where you live in the world, but in the UK for the last 50 days up until today, we have had rain every single day. It's insane. The ground conditions are absolutely sodden, and even today I came to the woods because I thought it was going to be nice weather. It's ended up raining again. So what we're going to go through today is my top 10 tips for camping in the wet. Let's get into it. If there's one thing that's going to make a difference to your camping experience in the wet, it's a plain and simple tarp. These things are cheap and they suddenly open up an area of dry space that you can sit in, cook in, and generally relax in and have a nice fire and sit around. So I'm going to get this set up now. In fact, if you could see the camera, maybe I'll overlay some video of the camera, you'll see I've already got tarp set up to keep some of my equipment dry. So let's go and get this put up. And we're up. And importantly, we've got one corner higher than the other. That helps with the rain shedding. So now I've got a clean area that I can get set up and get dry, and I can go about my standard activities. So let's go through my next tip. So when you're dealing with ground conditions that are as wet as we have in the UK at the moment, you need to think very, very carefully about the sort of shelter that you're going to bring. If you're going to bring a tent, I highly advise bringing a single skin tent that does not have an inner. It goes directly on the ground and there's no protection between the ground and you. If you do take a tent that has an inner, you need to make sure that the bathtub floor is not only high, but has a very, very high hydrostatic head to ensure you get as little moisture as possible coming up inside the tent. So if you're camping without a hammock, maybe you don't have a hammock, but you do have a tarp, then this would definitely be my recommended setup. I have a dry zone here for when I remove my boots and if I need to move about without touching the wet floor. I've got a small table here to keep my stuff sorted out, and I've got a cot bed to lift me and anything else off the floor. I've got, in this case, I have the Dura 2 sleeping bag from DD, and it's got a toughened bottom, you can see here. This is waterproof, and it means you can actually touch this to the floor. It's designed for hammocks. This sort of setup, and this sort of arrangement, is going to make it more broadly reasonable to camp out in conditions like this. You might want to pair it with a bivy bag as well. Definitely though, the best way to camp in extremely wet weather or when you have very, very wet ground conditions such as this is going to be with a hammock. Even with a cot bed like this, those legs can sink into the mud in the night, and that can cause you discomfort, not lying flat, or it can even damage the cot bed when there's suddenly no support under one of the legs. So this is the DD Frontline hammock. It is an absolutely classic gathered end hammock that comes with a bug net. In conditions like this, quite honestly, you don't need a bug net. If there aren't any bugs, it's still winter. But let's get this set up and let's take a look and see how you would use it in highly wet and damp conditions. This particular hammock is designed for use in adverse weather, and you can see when it comes out of the bag, it's contained in this waterproof tube. This stays on the hammock and you just sort of slide it on and off. It's extremely convenient because it means when it goes on the ground, which it does from time to time, your hammock's not getting wet. The first swing is always a bit tenuous, but it seems to be fine. So this is definitely one of my preferred ways of camping when it's extremely wet. You can see my feet are entirely off the ground, and I have the pleasure of swinging in a hammock, which is an absolute delight. So I would still apply the same principles as before. I'd have a little table for my stuff. I have a little dry area to put my bag on a small tarp that's underneath this to try and keep everything organized and neat and dry. Managing and maintaining wet, muddy areas and dry areas are absolutely critical when you're camping in the wet. So when you are tarp camping, if you're dealing with very, very heavy rain, one of the things you need to be careful of is making sure that none of the rain can run along your ridgeline and down and then drip onto your dry area. So you can see here, I've got a very simple drip line. So I have a carabiner here, or I can run this over to make sure it's touching, and then any water as it rolls down here can go down here and go downwards towards the ground. You can also see as part of this DD hammock, we've got this little line that comes down. Now this line serves two purposes. First of all, this is a drip line, so any water that lands on here is going to roll down and it's going to go down here, and it's not go and impact your hammock. This is also what is called a whoopee sling, and it is an adjustment, which means that you can adjust carefully your hammock length by lowering and raising it. It's a really, really useful adjustment. Another check you have to make is to make sure your hammock has a good couple of inches cover from the edge of the tarp. This is nowhere near sufficient. The rain is going to come in and it's going to hit this hammock and it's going to roll down and you're going to have a wet night. Normally speaking, if I'm going to sleep underneath a hammock, I would pitch the tarp in a diamond formation to make sure I have more than enough space. I'm not going to sleep in this hammock tonight, it's just put up for demonstration purposes. But definitely making sure that this is a good few inches inside the tarp is really important. If it's going to be windy, you want it to be even further inside the tarp. We should also talk about clothing. Now, obviously, if you're going somewhere where it's going to be wet, you're going to need waterproofs. You may also need waterproof trousers, and you're definitely going to need waterproof boots. But I would also strongly recommend taking a cap or a wide-brimmed hat. These manage to keep a lot of the water from finding their way down your neck, down into your clothing. You'll often see me wearing, when the weather's bad, especially if it's cold, also a snood around my neck to try and keep me warm. Hats, gloves, these are all extremely useful. For sleeping at night, depending on what you choose to wear, you may want to ensure that you've got dry clothes to sleep in. For a single overnight, if you're just used to wearing maybe a t-shirt and your boxers, maybe you can get away with it. It depends on the situation. If you have a very long hike and you suspect you may be completely soaking by the time that you get there, then yes, you're definitely going to need dry clothes in order to keep yourself warm. Now let's talk about your pack. A lot of modern packs, and by that I mean every single pack that I think I've seen on the market today, comes with a waterproof pack liner or pack pouch that you can add onto the top of your rucksack when you're out and about. On an awful lot of packs you're going to find that on the base of the pack, but not on this particular model. In this case it's located in the brain or the section at the top. And if I just pop this open and take a look inside, I've got a little hidden pocket inside here that contains a waterproof pack liner that I can use to cover the pack. Now I can tell you from personal experience that these waterproof pack covers, they're not going to keep your stuff dry. There's going to be all manner of little areas and little nooks and crannies where that water can get in and start to get your kit wet. So it's important you waterproof your kit inside your bag as well. And we're going to do that in two levels. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take everything that needs to be kept dry and we're going to put it in a dry bag inside the bag. And once you've done that, if you really want a belt and braces, you can get a Nyla Flume pack liner, or even just a plain old bin bag or trash bag or garbage bag, and put everything inside of that as well. Whatever you can do to keep everything dry is only going to help. So as you can probably hear, it's started raining again. Next thing we're going to talk about is cooking when you know you're going to be camping in the rain. Now, personally speaking, I'll always make sure I bring myself a gas stove set up, and I've got everything I need in this tiny little package. In here, I've got the pot that I'm going to cook in, I've got the gas itself, I've got the stove set up, I've got some cutlery, I've got some micro towels that I can use to clean everything down, and I've even got a cup in here. So I've got everything that I need to cook, drink, and keep myself hydrated and fed in the wet without having to get a fire lit. And so my last tip for camping in the wet: make sure you always pack a spare black bin bag or trash bag or garbage bag. When you're packing up, it's highly likely a lot of your kit is going to be very, very wet. And if you're just doing some car camping, it makes it very convenient to chuck your wet kit in a big plastic bag, carry it out to the car, and then you can dry it out when you get home. Makes everything much, much easier. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you got some good tips from it. I'm really interested to hear in the comments what tips you might have for camping in wet weather. It looks to me like we've got a lot more of this to come in the UK, and I know that's also impacting many other parts of the world as well. Camping in the rain is tough. It's definitely harder than when the weather is nice. But if you can do it, that beautiful sound of rain on tarp can be yours to go to sleep to. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks very much for watching. Matt.